Here, let me put my, mhm,
Your purple.
my purple. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been working all day. And so I had just stepped out to grab a little something before we
Yeah.
settled down into this.
Yeah, so these conversations are coming up, and the piece that I'm going to read a little something because it's so fitting, but what we were just talking about, this idea of the more that our light is shining, that is part of our expression of who we are, is part of why we're here, not in a philosophical way, of course, and a theoretical and all those pieces, but actually in an actual way, it's having an effect on the energy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're individuals, but we're all part of, the great collective that is humanity. And that great collective is part of the great collective that is life on this planet, which is a part of the great collective, which is life in this cosmos, right? I mean, the Celts talk about it as the Oran Mor, the great song of life, and the heart song, the Oran Croí. So the Oran Mor is the great song of life that sings existence in its fullness, but it's like a choir. And so it has all these individual voices, and each one of those individual voices is everything that is in existence. So everything that exists has a heart song, an Oran Croí. And that heart song is the song that the sacred uses to sing you into existence, or sing that thing into existence. Whether it's me, whether it's you, whether it's the drum sitting next to me, whether it's the computer that I'm speaking on, whether it's the rocks or the water or the ocean, all of it has an Oran Croí, a heart song. And it's all of those songs singing together that create the Oran Mor, the great song of life, of creation.
So is it so simple, do you think, that we just need to reconnect, that we all have a song? It's not even, we already have it. Mm-hmm. We just need to find it and sing it.
You already have it. My ancestors talk about it this way. They talk about the great love making of the goddess, the god, and the creator is what births that song, that heart song that sings you into existence. And that song sings for as long as you are here. When that song stops singing, your existence comes to an end, right? That your purpose here is complete. So it's here, it's singing within you. Always. As long as that song is singing, you're here, your life is maintained. So yeah, absolutely. That's part of, I think, of the Celtic shamanic path, is coming into relationship with that song and beginning to live in relationship with that song, cultivating that relationship and finding the different ways that you hear it and the different ways that you can sing it out into the universe.
So we've talked before about all the various tools, right, to come to that place, mm-hmm. whether that's breath or movement or mm-hmm. sound or so on. What are one of the ways from your tradition that people might begin to discover or look for their song?
Well, so I'm a shamanic druid priestess, right? So I practice Celtic shamanism, and the cornerstone of all shamanic practices is the shamanic journey, which is, it's a learned skill. It's something we all have the capacity for, but it is something that you can train. It's like any other muscle, right? If you want to learn to do bicep curls, or pull-ups on the bar, you got to practice them. And it's the same way here. You have to learn the technique and then practice it. But you can learn ways to work with usually what's called sonic driving. It's a repetitive sound, but then allows you, when you engage with it, it allows you to shift your consciousness. So you step out of the ordinary aspects of reality, the places we can see and taste and touch in our everyday waking lives, and step into the otherworldly aspects of reality, into those dimensions of soul and spirit. But there's also breath work. There's all kinds of, meditative breath works where you can breathe through aspects of yourself through, we talk about the 3 cauldrons of life, where you can breathe through those. You don't necessarily need any shamanic training for that. And the way of working with the breath and moving them through those 3 central cauldrons of you, it creates a a repetitiveness, a sonic driving in its own way that opens a visionary field. So there's techniques like that too, druidic visionary techniques that you can learn through breath or even through movement. Trance dance is another one that's very popular amongst people within the druidic and the shamanic communities, where you actually use repetitive movement. Again, it's that repetitive thing, right? You get your brain bored, and your brain has just enough to focus on, but it doesn't really go anywhere and doesn't require a lot of effort. And so that other aspect of yourself opens and engages.
Because when our brain comes in, that's when it gets very sort of logical about it or questioning. And then that kind of puts a stop to the connection.
Yeah, the brain connects you back into this is my understanding of it. I don't know that everybody would explain it this way, but this is the way my ancestors explained it to me, is the brain connects you back into the body. It connects you back into the physical. And so it's like it turns down your awareness or blocks your awareness of that soul aspect of yourself.
Yeah. You know, so this, I'm going to read this quote, is from, I thought it was from Rumi. I keep quoting Rumi as having said it, but it's actually Al-Ghazal, who says, I love that you say, oh, I know Al-Ghazal, my friend Al-Ghazal. Dear friend, your heart is a polished mirror. You must wipe it clean of the veil of dust that has gathered upon it, because it is destined to reflect the light of divine secrets. And I feel like that we have some dust and we don't even know it, because we didn't even know that our heart could be polished. And, well, I used to say, and Rumi talks about, but now I'll say Al-Ghazal talks about polishing your heart. And that, polishing takes many different grades of sandpaper, right? There's rough grade and there's soft. And we are in a time right now, and it feels like we've been in a time where it's really kind of rough. We're being polished. But that means that we can then bring the softest cloth to that polishing, because that's also a way of polishing, is using a little chamois. And that's kind of loving kindness to self, which sometimes is very low on the list of tools for emotional fitness, is to be loving and compassionate and just nice to ourselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But my ancestors and my allies would also say, yeah, you're being polished, right? Mine talk about it this way. You're in the blacksmith's forge. You've been thrown back in the fire. They're heating you up to melt away that dross that you don't need to carry forward anymore, that weakens you, right? So we can reshape you and reform you into something stronger. And my allies would say, but you don't have to entirely rely on the fire. You can actually join the process. You can engage and make it a co-creative process. And then the work goes that much more quickly, and it's far less painful, because you engage. You say, okay, what is it that I need to let go of? Yeah. What is it that no longer serves me? What is it that's being rubbed away, right? Polished away. And how can I help with that process? What can I let go of so that you don't have to rub me quite so hard, right? Right. And that's also, I think, a form of gentleness and self-kindness too.
Yeah. Right. Because if we let go of it, it doesn't need to be chipped away at or wrenched out of our being.
Exactly. If we let it fall away, there's no need for that coarse sandpaper to, for them to sit there and scrub, or superheat the fire so that it actually disengages.
So maybe in those moments where we're feeling like, okay, we're being scrub, and rough, and the feeling is to say, stop it. Mm-hmm. The opportunity is actually to go, oh, what can I let go of? And really, and I come to this more and more as I've been doing this work, it's not, for anybody listening, it's not that I have the answer for you or Jennifer has the answer for you, because only we can know what there is to let go of. Only we can know whether we're actually doing that or not. And that seems to be a big piece of the work itself, just to get to that, oh, it is I am my greatest teacher. All the work is on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree, in those moments where you feel like, oh, I just please, just stop, no more. Those are absolutely key moments to go, okay, how can I let this go? How can I let it go? Like, what is it that I need to let go? And how can I let it go? How can I join you in this process so that it can be a process of ease? Yeah, absolutely.
Right. That's interesting. So the joining piece, and I recognize, you know, part of what we're doing is sharing work across the board from so many different modalities. And I recognize for a lot of us, we're not even sure who the sharing would be with, or it's like when you say your ancestors, I remember this from the last call, all of us on the call sort of went, what? our aunt, you know, there's more support out there for us than we might realize or have had access to. And it doesn't matter whether that's our religion or our you know, experience of origin, or it just can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so much available to us. We don't Westerners, we only think of ourselves as now, like as individuals. And I think that's almost become exaggerated to an extreme in this culture. We are individuals. Like, we don't even think of ourselves as clans or families or tribes anymore. We've become so isolated out to the leaves of the tree, right? But that doesn't mean that the branches don't exist, and that doesn't mean that the trunk doesn't exist, and it doesn't mean that the roots don't exist. They're all still there, and they're all still supporting us. It is truly for us to come home to that. And sometimes I think that's what these moments of incredible isolation are doing, is it's forcing a society that is so focused on go out, do, to come home, to be, and to give you nothing else to do but to dive inward and to rediscover those branches and the trunk and the roots of the tree.
My thought is, you know, people can find you and work with you and come to your classes, and you know, it's not that we're saying don't get guidance.
No.
Get guidance, but also practice, both and practice on your own and get whatever guidance you might need. Do you want to just a very short take a breath? Do you want to take us through a little breath that people might experience?
Let's see.
Let's see.
You mean like do like a little meditation or something?
Yeah, whatever resonates. And then
I'm just listening. Let me just take a moment and just listen. Well, I was talking about like that druidic meditation of the 3 cauldrons. We could do that. Just something really simple, really quickly. So let me introduce the concept then. There's a Celtic metaphysical concept of the 3 cauldrons of the soul, that every individual, every being that exists has these 3 cauldrons. And one kind of sits in this area of your belly and your sacrum. And Tom Cowan calls this one the cauldron of warming. It's also called the cauldron of vitality. And then there's one that's kind of around the chest area. And Tom calls this the cauldron of calling, but it's also traditionally called the cauldron of vocation. And then there's one that sits in the head, and Tom calls this the cauldron of knowing, but it's also called the cauldron of wisdom, or the cauldron of illumination. So these 3 cauldrons, they sit stacked within you in these complex ways that we're not going to get into right now. And they are like bowls, right? Like little cauldrons. And they have beautiful essence that flows through them and flows within them. And they flow not only within themselves, but they flow up into the others and down again. So we'll just do a quick little breath meditation to experience that. So you can just go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. Just take a breath in and then exhale away any noise, anything that doesn't support you right here and now, any remnants of the day that are outside and beyond the purpose of this moment. Just let them fall away back to the fires of neutralization. And just take another breath or two, allowing yourself to settle in to your physical body, seated comfortably here on this circle of the earth, beneath the circle of the heavens, and nestled in the circle of the waters. Allow your breath to just flow through you, filling you, and pulsating and flowing through your awareness, through your body, and through your soul. And with your next inhale, just allow your awareness to settle down into your belly, down around the level of your navel, or even a little lower. Feel your hips and your bum get heavy on the earth or on the seat of the chair where you're sitting. Allow that awareness just to settle in to the center of your belly. Breathing easily here into that space, into that cauldron of warming. That flows with life-giving awareness, life-giving essence, that nourishes you here and now. Just allow yourself to be there and breathe. Feel a gentle, life-giving vitality that flows to you from this place. That holds you in this moment and carries you to the next. The strength and resilience and light that says, I am. And knowing that that cauldron remains here for you, that it continues to flow and offer its life force to you. With the next in-breath, just gently allow your awareness to rise up along the center of you, up into your chest, to the cauldron of calling. To another container of life force and light that seeps into you, that flows through you, that shines with your breath. And whispers to you, I know, I do, and I have purpose. Just be here and breathe. And then again, knowing that this gift of light, of life, of belonging remains with you and flows through you at every moment. With gratitude and your next breath, allow your awareness to rise gently up through your neck and into your head. And into the cauldron of knowing, the cauldron of wisdom and illumination. The light is brighter here, and that's okay. Just allow it to be as it is, knowing that it shines to you all the truth, all the guidance, all the wisdom that you most need right here, right now. Allow that gift to flow through you as you allow your awareness to just gently be in this space, in the cauldron of knowing, as you breathe. Take another breath and hear the words of this cauldron as it says, "It is, the truth is, and the truth is within you." And again, knowing that this cauldron remains here, that this wisdom, this access to the truth, to the deepest knowing is ever with you. That the light of this truth is ever shining to you right here and right now, at all times. With gentle gratitude for this gift. With your next inhale, just stay where you are in your head, in the cauldron of knowing. And with that exhale, just flow down back through your neck and settle again into your chest, into the cauldron of calling. Take another in-breath here. And with gratitude, allow your awareness to settle back down into your belly, into the cauldron of being, the cauldron of warming, the cauldron of life. And know that these cauldrons are here for you. They are ever inside you. They are a part of you, part of the great gift that is your soul, that is you in this lifetime. And that you only need to slow down, to breathe, and sink into them, to touch their wisdom again and again, and drink from their life-giving fountain. For these waters are ever bathing you. These waters are ever bathing you. These waters are ever bathing you. Allow your breath to return back to its everyday rhythm. As you allow your awareness to surface again into the world of everyday life. Even as these cauldrons continue to flow within you. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
So you just know doing this that if we had the opportunity, which you just gave us, to do this on a regular basis, I feel all my systems, like my nervous system and my adrenals and everything, just coming down.
And yet there's something else that I sense. Yeah, I agree. Like your nervous system settles, your adrenals settle, even your heartbeat starts to settle a little. But then there's something else that I feel that opens. And there's so much power there. There's so much life force and vitality and inspiration there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we're looking for that, what is the essence of us? And we want to, that's part of it, is that vitality and light, that force. We are maybe so much stronger than we ever think that we are. And we maybe have access to so much more physical, visceral, energetic support than we ever realized.
Absolutely. And soul level support too. Yeah, absolutely. Always. Well, in the shamanic tradition, so we talk about your council of allies as well. All shamanic cultures believe that anyone who lives to adulthood, survives to adulthood, has allies, beings from the other world who work with you and work on your behalf. They're kind of like your own privy council, right? And some cultures, shamanic cultures, say there's only one, that's it, that's all you have, and it's with you for your entire life. And that's not been my experience. And my tradition says that no, there are many. There are certain ones who are with you your whole life, but there are others who work with you through certain types of learning or certain types of work that you do. Others that are associated very deeply to your family, your clan, your tribe, right? Your ancestral lineage or your soul lineage. So there's a great, I really think of them as a council. I speak of them that way, as my council of allies. And they are there for you, absolutely 24/7. They are not servants to you, but they are in service to you. And they are always there, and they're always so happy when we call to them and begin to work with them. Yeah.
Yeah. What a gift. And I want to direct people to you on the site. So can I do that with you have Thursday evening gatherings? Is that more for people who are already experienced, or that's for everybody?
Yeah, I have Thursday night Soul Light Shamanic Journey Circles, and those are definitely for people who already know how to journey, who have done the training. I do normally offer introduction to shamanism workshops, but of course, those are, I only do in person. I have not managed to do those online.
Yeah.
There's just certain things that have to happen when you're in person that way. And so I don't have an option for people who haven't learned how to journey at this moment. But I do also do meditations, and I'm going to be doing much more actually of these kind of recorded sessions. I've started a YouTube channel.
Good.
Through Shaman's Eyes, and I will be posting meditations and visionary discussions up there as well. And you can also find me on Facebook, Jennifer Lynn through Shaman's Eyes. And then I have a website where all of my workshops and events are also published, which I know you can probably guess it's www.throughshamanseyes.wordpress.com.
And can people, if they haven't had an experience, are you doing privates via Zoom or phone?
Yes, I do one-on-one sessions, shamanic healing sessions, and those are all done through Zoom or through telephone. And then I also do mentoring, spiritual mentoring for people who are on the shamanic path, as well as those who are not, who are on other visionary mystical paths, or even just getting started. I do one-on-one mentoring sessions through Zoom as well.
And I can say, because I mean, it's been now so many years already.
I know.
It's just sort of crazy. It's at least 15 or so, it's about 15 or so years. In any case, I have had the experience of having journeys with Jennifer, and the beyond that, they give you so much insight. This way that you tell the story of what your experience is so inviting. It's so nourishing just to be in that, held in that space. So I
Thank you.
highly recommend them. Thank you for sharing this time. I know that wasn't what you came in and expecting, but I feel like in these days when we're coming together, we just share whatever's being called to be shared and put it out and pass it along.
Yeah. You know, these things, it's not a coincidence that you and I ended up being the only one on this call today, right? I mean, this was meant to be. This conversation was meant to happen, and this information was meant to come out. So I really truly believe there are no coincidences. Spirit works in blessedly mysterious ways.
Mysterious ways. Yeah. And if we would not fight against it, it would probably be a lot less suffering. For us.
I agree. My ancestors and my allies talk about the sacred conversation. It's, what the sacred is singing to you and what you sing back. And when that conversation becomes conscious, when you begin to do it freely and willingly, there's a magic that happens, and things get easier. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. This is fantastic. It's exciting because now something's going to come out of it, and then I'm going to start posting. I have a couple of other ones that I've done with people, and I'm going to just start putting up practitioner corner.
Fabulous.
That we can start sharing each other's work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll reach out to you anyway for so you know when I'm posting before I post it.
And if there's a way that I can get a copy of this too, because I'd love to post it up on my.
Perfect. I'm going to just edit it a tiny bit because I'm also trying to not get totally bogged down in the production pieces of it. So it'll be lightly edited. But yes, of course, I'll send you the whole thing.
That'd be fabulous.
And feel free to do it with just the audio or audio and video, because also, podcast-ish.
Yeah, I haven't launched into the podcast world, but I'm starting to do more videos, so we'll see.
Yeah. Perfect. Good. All right. So much blessing and love, and I'll see you soon.
As well. Okay. All right. Be well.